Hey everybody, welcome back to Recruiting 101 with Camille and Kierra. Recruiting 101 is dedicated to helping candidates understand the process from a recruiter's perspective.
Hi, Camille. Thanks for joining me today. What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, so I'm excited. I think our first one went really well, helping candidates reach out to recruiters online. So I think we'll take a step back from that one almost and just kind of help candidates figure out what they're looking for in their next job, but also kind of focus on like finding companies and how to find those companies. So I know we talked about it, like the first thing a candidate should really do when they're looking for a new job is make a list, figure out what you're looking for, write down tasks, projects that you enjoy working on, write down what you don't like about your current job. Why are you leaving? Figure that out so that's not a problem at your next role. You want to make sure that if it's something with the management style, something with growth, something with salary, that you identify those problems so your next role that doesn't happen and you're out on the job market again a couple months later. So really sitting down and just kind of figuring out what you're looking for. So that would be more for the role itself, but then also for the company, figure out what you're looking for culture, benefits. Do you want a good work-life balance? Do you want to work all the time? Where do you want to work location-wise? What kind of mission aligns with you? And is that work and industry really important to you? Then that'll really set you up to start your search once you have it all written out.
Yeah, and I think once you find a couple of companies that you're interested in, you can see other companies that are kind of in the similar industry or have similar core values. So I think having a starting point is good because it'll kind of show you what companies have those similar interests that you're looking for. But you can find those many different ways. I found jobs when I was looking on Google search. You can use ZipRecruiter, Indeed. There's a lot out there. Monster is another one. I know Handshake is for college grads. They use that to get started, find internships. So there's a lot of different ways to find these jobs. But I think first, like knowing what list you're going off of is super important, like you had said. I also think like from that, you're going to want to do more research on those specific companies that you do find.
Yeah, and I think so too. When I had graduated college, I wasn't really sure where to start with my job search. So I literally just typed in on LinkedIn, like jobs or companies that are hiring in the greater Chicago area. So even if you don't really know, or maybe you're new to a location, you don't really know what companies are there, you can just Google search. You can ask your friends, like, what are the hot companies around that are hiring, corporate companies, mom and pop shops, small businesses, and just kind of look that up on locations. You can use Google Maps also and see anything in the big towns and big cities, what businesses are around as well. And that will help you kind of figure out who's hiring and kind of make a list of companies that you'd be interested in and do some research on them. And also another thing that's important would be looking at the company's website, which you do find one, and just looking up if you can find anything about committees they have, DEI efforts, do they volunteer? Does it look like they have a lot of community involvement? What does their culture look like? Do they have Christmas parties? Do they have celebrations? Does it look like people have been there for a while? Is their tenure good? All of that kind of stuff, usually you would be able to see from the website, or you can go onto their LinkedIn and follow some of the employees that work there. And usually you can get an insight from some of their posts there if they're posting about how much they love their job, like us at HireWell. If they're having like happy hours, company meetings, new promotions, anything like that, you can tell a lot from a company's LinkedIn page and the employees as well.
Yeah, I will say that I found HireWell through following some of the recruiters that already had worked here and seeing how much they would post about how great HireWell was, and the company events looked like so much fun. And I was like, that's something I want to be a part of. So I definitely think following the company on LinkedIn will show you a lot about them. I also think that if you want a little bit more insight, reaching out to individuals, asking them questions about their job, like what do you like, what do you dislike, a lot of the times they'll be honest about like the pros and cons of working there. And I think that'll give you like a really good feel if that company would be a right fit for you. And also just ask to maybe get on a call with one person or employee that works there, and then get some of that insight. So you know if it would be a good fit right off the bat. But also like knowing how long they're staying there, I think is also a good thing. I know I looked at company reviews. We use G2 as one of our review sites. But there's other ones out there. Not all of them are super reliable because anyone can post on them, but I do think it still gives you a general idea of what the company is about, the employees that are working there. I just think it's a better practice than sending out hundreds of applications. I know I've seen tons of posts about people writing that they've applied to like hundreds of different companies. And I really don't think you will find what is a perfect match for you if you do that, because you won't be excited to work there. And it tells in the interviews if you've like done your research and if you are excited. So I definitely think that this approach is going to help you in the long run, not only connecting with individuals, but also finding a place that makes you happy.
Definitely, yeah. And I think it really all starts with yourself at the beginning of the process and just checking in, because what if you ended up getting a company or an offer with a company, and then you look at it and you think about it and you think, hey, this really isn't a good move for me, then you just wasted all that time interviewing when you could have been spending that time finding a better fit for yourself. So I think just making sure you're only applying to companies and roles that you could really see yourself doing, that really like are a good fit for your lifestyle, work-life balance, location, mission, all of that good stuff. Just making sure it's a right fit for you before you even start the process.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions on how to do your research, you can either comment on this video or reach out to Camille or I about it. So thank you so much for joining us today. Remember to check out all of our content on talentinsights.hirewell.com and follow us on LinkedIn for more info and content. Have a wonderful rest of your day.